You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's JPA here. In today's video I'm going to discuss Rangers' shock cup exit to St Johnstone, or maybe it's no such a shock to be honest. But yeah, new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and we're well on our way. We'll just get straight into this video, guys. So the game finished, Rangers 0, St Johnstone 0, and obviously it went to extra time and penalties. Rangers scored obviously very late on, 4 minutes to go in the match in extra time. We thought that was the winner, but obviously I'll go into more detail on that. But just 4 minutes later, well 4 or 5 minutes later, deep in injury time, they got a corner, and corner came in. Zander Clark got his head to the ball. I actually thought he was the one that scored it. It looks like it's Nicky Rooney that's put it in the net eventually from about a yard out. Really disappointing to do so well in the match, or stay in the match really, because I thought St Johnstone were probably the better side. Although that's a strange thing to say because we dominated the possession of the football quite a lot, but we just couldn't really make that breakthrough and get the goals that we needed. Obviously we lost on penalties, which again is disappointing. I expected McGregor to make a save. I know he says it's just a lottery with penalties, but he's normally pretty good at saving penalties, so I expected at least one penalty to be saved by him, but we did the damage ourselves by missing 2 of our penalties. So anyway, I'll go back and I'll talk about some of the chances that we did create. I thought that we actually started the game pretty brightly, and it looked like we could easily win by 2 or 3 goals. I thought in the opening exchanges, 10 minutes in, Kamara got a real good chance where Kent had kind of burst forward with the ball, played it to Morelos. Morelos drives forward to the edge of the box, releases Kamara. Kamara creates himself a real good angle, and all he has to do is kind of hit it back across the goalkeeper into that bottom corner at the back post. And for some reason he kind of just hits it straight at the keeper. The keeper, to be fair to him, makes a good save, and I thought Zander Clark had an absolute fantastic game yesterday. Just a minute later, St Johnstone actually had a really good shot on target. It was a well worked corner, and the volley from Greg Tanzer, probably straight at McGregor to be fair, but McGregor still got to be big and make that save. And I'm not going to go in every single chance that we created in the half, because there was a lot of kind of half chances, like headers that were just kind of no much on them, to be honest. Morelos had a wee header that was well saved by the goalkeeper, but he didn't really get a lot of power on it. There was a penalty claim for Morelos where he's kind of pushed in the back. Now I'm not saying it was a penalty because there was nothing in it. Morelos goes down far too easily. But what I will say is Lee Griffiths got a penalty for pretty much the same thing against us in the last round, so where's the consistency with the refereeing on that? Again, I'm not blaming the referee for this result. We should have won the game, to be honest. But I'm going to contradict myself here and say that Wotherspoon, right on the end of the half, makes a reckless challenge on Hadji. Receives a booking, fair enough, booking, but I honestly think it could have been worse. I think it could have been a red card if Hadji's planted his feet on the ground and it's possibly a leg breaker. Really stupid, reckless challenge. Rightly booked, but you could make an argument that it could have been a red card. I think the thing that does save Wotherspoon is the fact that Hadji kind of jumps out the way and he doesn't take any full impact to the challenge. But again, it's reckless, he's diving in, he's not really in control of it. For me, it could have been a red card and probably should have been. So we came out for the second half and I'm expecting a wee bit better from Rangers. I honestly thought they controlled the first half very well, but they still allowed St Johnstone to kind of press them and harry them and force them into mistakes we wouldn't normally be making. So I was expecting a wee bit better penetration in the second half, and for me probably St Johnstone came out the better team, particularly the opening kind of 10-15 minutes of that second half. But it was us that came closest just after the hour mark. A real good cross in for the right hand side, I think it's from Raribo, and Morelos gets his header on target, but it just clips outside of the post, inside the post, and it doesn't go in. Really disappointing with that. But 10 minutes to go, Morelos had another effort, this time a header, well saved by the goalkeeper. He probably just didn't get enough direction on it. It did everything right, but it was a real good save from Zander Clark again, and that was the end of Morelos' match. Morelos came off for Roof, and to be honest, Roof didn't do much better. To be honest, I would have kept Morelos on. If I'm real honest, he looked like he was hurting, looking for that goal. And I think taking it off was a mistake in the end. A couple of minutes later, St Johnstone had a really good opportunity. Michael O'Halloran had come on as a sub, and the ball comes across. Hollander goes to deal with it. He gets really unlucky. It hits off his foot, goes straight to O'Halloran, and he just bursts through, clean on goal, 1-on with the goalkeeper. I think you know what happens next. And McGregor comes out, smothers the ball, makes a really good, important save. Just 5 minutes from the end of the 90 minutes, we made a really good opportunity for ourselves, or rather, Scott Wright made a really good opportunity for ourselves. He just kind of dribbled past 3 or 4 St Johnstone players like they weren't even there, right through the box, plays a clever 1-2, and unfortunately for him, the defender's coming in, so he has to kind of flick the shot where he's at the outside of his boot. Probably would have been better if it came at his left foot. He could have maybe put a little bit of power on, a little bit of placement, but he's forced to kind of hit early, and Zander Clark again makes another really good save. So that was the action for the 90th minute. Nothing really much happened after that. I think Kent had a volley that went miles wide, but nothing really to report. So it ended 0-0, and we went into extra time. 5 minutes into extra time, Hollander had a decent chance from a corner. I think Tav swung it in, and he kind of just flicked it onto the near post, and it was again well saved by Zander Clark. Not long after that, maybe 3 minutes after that, Ryan Kent had a really good opportunity where he burst through, clear on goal, and he had like a couple of players in a attack with him. He had Wright on one side, Roof on the other. St Johnstone did well to close down the space, and Kent decided to kind of go alone. It looked like he was clipped right on the edge of the area, and I was looking for a penalty, or at least a free kick on the edge of the area. Looked at it again, fantastic tackle by McCann, who would go on to play an integral part of this game. But fantastic tackle, so we can't really complain about that. Kent probably should either pass it or just be a little bit quicker with the shot. Just on half time of extra time, Sean Rooney had a really good, decent effort that just went past the post, maybe about a yard past McGregor's post. Quite unlucky with that one. There wasn't a lot of pace in it, but it just seemed to like take an age to go past the post. It looked like it was just heading into that bottom corner there, and it finished 0-0 at half time of extra time. So that's it, 15 minutes to go. I think we maybe stepped it up a little bit looking for that goal, and eventually 4 minutes from the end of the game we got that goal. Cross in for Aribo, and Tavernier is at the back post. He did say he wanted to be a striker, and he's in the right place at the right time, heads it on target, and with 4 minutes to go we're 1-0 up. Surely we can hold on to this. Now this is the thing that really annoys me. We got into the 120 minutes, we're into, I think it's like 2 minutes injury time or something. Roof gets the ball, we're on the attack. Now he's got the choice to either go for the corner or go for goal. He kind of does neither. Then he tries to maybe be cute and try and win a free kick or something. Doesn't work out, goes out for a goal kick, and the next thing you know, they've played a long ball across and forced a corner. Corner comes in, Zander Clark gets his head to it. I honestly thought it was him that scored on second view, and on the replay and that. It looks like it's Rooney that's stabbed it in on the goal line, basically. Really disappointing, and there was no time to kind of recover from that. As soon as that happened, actually, as soon as they equalised, Jermaine Defoe came on. Obviously Stevie Gerrard knew we were going to penalties at that point, and he put Defoe on as well. So it went to penalties. Rangers took the first penalty, and you're wanting a good start. Upsets Tav, and for some reason I just wasn't confident he was going to score. He's missed his last 2 penalties previously, and I have noticed with Tav, when it's a pressure penalty, he tends to miss them. I remember, was it 2 years ago, he missed a penalty against Kilmarnock and we ended up getting put out of the cup. Or we drew 0-0 actually, and it went to a replay and we ended up winning comfortably, but it was a chance for him to score and he missed it. And I think when the pressure gets to him, he does tend to miss these kind of penalties. Steps up, puts it straight in the middle, poor penalty, well saved by Zander Clark yet again. St Johnstone got their penalty. Liam Craig, just as he done on Wednesday night, scored a penalty. Barisic stepped up, took his penalty really well, scored it to make it 1-1. Callum Booth makes it 2-1 on penalties. Jermaine Defoe steps up, we know what's happening. Really cool penalty, right into the corner. Very well taken penalty. makes it 2-2. Jason Kerr steps up, 3-2 St Johnstone. Another real good penalty, in fact it was a fantastic penalty. Next up for us was Roof. Roof didn't look confident at all. In fact, I think the whole game when he came on he didn't really look interested, if I'm honest. Didn't look like he wanted to play, didn't look like he wanted to score, and his penalty was again well saved by Xander Clark. Up stepped Alan McCann, who I did say earlier would have something to say about this game, and he did. Scored the fourth penalty, made it mathematically impossible for us to win at that point, and St Johnstone went through. All I can say is disappointing, shocking performance for us. I always try and find the positives in performances like this. Say, oh well, St Johnstone played well, they deserved it, they were organised, they were hard to beat. But we've come across this kind of low block before. We've come across teams that are going to do this to us. We've seen it on Wednesday night how St Johnstone were going to set up, so it really isn't an excuse anymore to say St Johnstone played well, they probably deserved it. We're the best team in Scotland right now in terms of the league, how dominant we've been in the league. We've been fantastic, but in the competitions we've been really poor, and not just this season. Since Gerrard's come in, he admitted it himself in the post-match interview that the cups just haven't been good enough since he's arrived, and I've got to agree with that. We've bottled it every single time. I want to go into this wee thing that I mentioned in my quick reaction video yesterday. The similarities are striking to the two times we've went out of the cup this season. One is Celtic getting put out in the previous round, Aberdeen getting put out, Rangers and Hibs probably looking like the strongest teams left in the competition. And then we score a late goal to give us a little bit of hope, to think that it will probably go through, and then they've scored an even later goal just to kind of spoil it a little bit, and then get put out ultimately by the Saints. Those two things, all those things, happened against St Mirren and against St Johnstone. So real disappointing, but I just thought it was kind of weird coincidence that all these kind of things lined up into place. Now obviously St Mirren one didn't go to penalties, but this one did. That's pretty much the game in a nutshell. Bitterly disappointing if you're a Rangers fan. If you're a St Johnstone fan, you're delighted. If you're a fan of any other club, you're delighted. I've had to put up with a lot of shite on Facebook over the last 24 hours. Not personally, but just a lot of jibes and things. Obviously I've lived in Edinburgh the last 20 years or so, and I've accumulated quite a lot of friends who are Hibs fans, unfortunately, on Facebook. So whenever this kind of thing happens, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get slated, and there's nothing we can really do about that. We just have to hope that Hibs didn't win it, and I actually didn't think Hibs will win it. They bottled it in the League Cup. It was theirs for them to win, and obviously Rangers and Celtic got put out, and they didn't do it. I think St Johnstone have probably got a good chance of getting to the final. I think Dundee United have got a good chance of getting to the final. So for me, I wouldn't expect too much for Hibs. I think they might get to the semis, but I can't see them getting there all the way and winning it again, to be honest. In terms of man of the match, I honestly couldn't give one. I thought Davis was absolutely standing again in midfield. He just controls it so well, but he wasn't really the driving force in midfield this time, and he couldn't really create anything. I thought Hadji had a poor game. I thought Morelos did what he could. I mean, the chances that he did get for himself, maybe could have done better, but I thought Xander Clark was absolutely outstanding. But if you're talking about just man of the match, I'd go for Xander Clark. But if you're talking a Rangers man of the match, probably Davis, maybe Goldson. But that was it. There wasn't any great performances for a lot of our players tonight. Right, so I'm just going to wrap this video up, guys. I know it's been a long video, I really do apologise for that, but it was a long game. There was a lot to talk about with the penalty incidents, the penalty shootout rather, and a couple of chances here and there that we failed to take, which was really disappointing. I've said that word a lot tonight in this video, disappointing, because that's what it is. It's a real chance for us. We could have won a treble this year if we won the bottle merchants and cups. That's the only thing I can say. Finishing this video now, so I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.